This video is going to be practice for being able to go up and down through all of the notes, all of the musical notes from the perspective of sharps. And I'm continuing, really in the last several videos, I've been going through all of the little basic skills. And I want to solidify those skills, and for you to solidify those skills into your own database of information that you can access with ease in time. See, in time it will become easy for you. And so essentially let's review everything we know about sharps up until now. A sharp is a note that has been elevated in pitch to the next higher note. That's what the sharp symbol means. It means take this note here, raise it by a half step to the next higher note. And we've discussed how you have like the letter notes A, B, C, D, E, F, G, and in between these are other notes. A sharp, C sharp, D sharp, like this. There are sharps between the two letters, but not all of them. Between the letters B and C, the notes B and C, there's not a sharp note. And between the letters E and F, there's not a sharp note. So, I mean, it would have been easier if they made it where there were sharps between all letters, but they didn't. You know, don't shoot the messenger. I just work here. You know, so what happens is between B, C, and E, F, there's no sharp. But all the other letters have it, including between A and G. When you get from G and you go to A again in the next octave, there's a sharp there as well. G sharp. And so in the last video, we started to practice going through all of these notes. And that's what I'm going to continue to do here. I'm going to go through all of them, and then I want to go through all of them slower. And we're going to do like this and practice building our skills. All right, so starting with the note A, the note above A is, as a matter of fact, I'm going to do it slower for you to tell me, and then I'll go back and do them faster. All right, so above A is what note in sharps? A sharp. Above A sharp, what's the next note above A sharp? We said that when we go up from a sharp, we end up at the next letter, right? So from A sharp, the next note above is going to be B. Good. Once we're on B, what's the next higher note after B gonna be? C. Not B sharp, because it's not a B sharp. It's gonna be C. Above C is what note? What sharp note is above C? C sharp. What is the note above C sharp? I'm gonna go to the new letter, right? So C sharp, up a half step, we land on D. The note above D is, right? And as we're building our confidence, we find that we'll be able to move faster and faster. Above D is D sharp. Above D sharp, we're gonna have a new letter. Garbage truck coming through here. Right. I was just like watching him. I don't want him to rub my car. That would be disastrous. That would be almost as bad as not knowing your sharps. So we were at D sharp. Above D sharp will be what note? Think about it. It's going to be E. The note above E, everybody knows the note above E is E sharp. Oh, nope, there's no E sharp. We go straight to F, right? So the note above E is F. What is the note above F? F sharp. Above F sharp, when we go up from a sharp, we go to the next letter. So what's the note above F sharp? Note above F sharp is going to be G. Note above F sharp is going to be G. What is the note above G? G sharp. And what is the note above G sharp? If we go up from a sharp, we end up at the next letter, right? What's the next letter after G in the musical alphabet? It's not going to be H. It's going to be A again. A on the next octave. So above, the note above G sharp is A. And we're back at A where we started. And so these are literally all the possible musical notes. These are all the notes. And if you can go up like this through all of the notes, calling the names of all of them, including the sharps, what you have is effectively full knowledge of the entire spectrum of notes that are possible, if you want to call it that. Now, you can do the same thing and you can practice going at whatever speed you're comfortable. So like if I'm practicing for myself, right, reviewing, I'll say, okay, starting at A, I say A, and I'm going up one half step each time, right? A sharp, B, C, C sharp, D sharp, E, F sharp, G sharp, A, and I've gone through all of the notes. And when you get more comfortable, when you really have it solid, you could practice. You could just review them nice and quick. You know, you can say, okay, A sharp, B, C sharp, D sharp, E, F sharp, G sharp, A, like this, right? And here's another thing. You want to be able to start and end wherever, but because you know all of the notes, you're not going to have trouble with this. So I can start anywhere random. I can say, okay, I'm going to start on F. And this is what we actually do in music, is we pick the first note and we call it the root note of the key or of the scale. We had said in the last video that all the scale that has all of the notes, if you're using all of the notes, you're actually using the chromatic scale. It has all of the colors, all of the different flavors. And since we know all of the notes, we can start on a different note other than A and cycle through all of the notes the same way. So if I'm starting on F and I'm going up, I can go from F and keep going until I end up on F again. Like so. I'm gonna do it nice and quick. F sharp, G sharp, A sharp, B, C sharp, D sharp, E, F. And now I'm back at F where I started. I can start at a different note, D, right? D sharp, E, F sharp, G sharp, A sharp, B, C C sharp, and back to D. Now you want to be strong at being able to do this, but you also want to be able to go backwards. So I could start at a random note like G, and I could go down, descending, until I get to G again. So you go backwards. I'll do it a little slower this time. G, F sharp is the note before G. Before F sharp is F. Before F is E. So I'm going backwards like this. I'm climbing down. So let's do it. G back, G down to G. G, F sharp, F, E. I'm like doing this while I'm juggling a million things, reversing, throwing. It's been a long week, complete with bad weather and everything. I'm gonna start over again. G, F sharp, F, E, D sharp, D, C sharp, C, B, A sharp, A, G sharp, G. And you can practice doing this from different letters. So I could go from C and climb down until I get to C again with all of the sharps. C, B, A sharp, A, G sharp, G, F sharp, F, E, D sharp, D, C sharp, C. Okay, and it really, you know, I feel confident if you can count going upwards and you just know where everything is. I feel more confident. It's more practical for real life, just knowing what they all are. Really, in real life, when you're playing, you're going to be thinking more in terms of intervals, of notes, scales. What note, see, in scales, you're gonna pick only so many of these notes. Like in the major scale, which is the first one and the main one that you want to know, because pretty much everything's derived from it, is the way I see it. You're using 7 out of the 12 notes, and numbers are assigned to these 7 notes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, and what happens is you're gonna now be thinking in terms of the numbers as intervals. Intervals create colors or feelings. Certain type, the disparity between 2 different pitches, how far apart they are, creates certain dynamics of how we experience the music. But whenever you call the names of the notes, it's going to be these notes that we're doing right here. You're going to refer to them by their sharp names or their flat names. I'll be practicing flats. I think this is the last sharp video. I'll be practicing flats in the future. And we're going to be confident thinking in both possible modes of way of looking at them. So this is just a little bit of exposure to where we're headed. And so we're learning, like I'll literally, like you learn your ABCs before you learn words and stuff like that. Same way you need to learn all the possible notes before you can start to use them in a real situation. Before we could talk about what notes are in what key and how to think of them as intervals and all of this. Okay. So this is confidence in sharps. And I feel like there's something else I wanted to say, but like, let's not worry about it. You see, once you get everything up in your head, once it all is up there, you have command of it, you can use it however you see fit when situated. And this is the knowledge, the skill set that I'm trying to pass. to whosoever will be diligent enough to go through these and do the actual work. And so I will talk to you in the next video. For now, we'll do sharps. And when everybody's confident, we'll move on to, oh, that was the other thing. So we've been moving by, all right, I'm not gonna end the video yet. We've been moving by half steps. You also gotta be able to move by whole steps. You gotta be able to move by whole steps. And so all that means, since we already know how to count one note at a time, if I want to go up by a whole step is 2 notes away. Right, so I'm not going to spend a ton of time on this right here, but understand that 2 notes away is a whole step. So let's say I'm starting on a note like C, right? And then I say, oh, I want to go up by a whole step. I'm going to go 2 notes away. So I'm on C. I'm going to go 1 note up is C sharp, 2 notes up is D. C sharp, D, 2 jumps. C sharp, D. So a whole step above C is D because C sharp, D. If I start on F, right? F sharp, G. So G is a whole step above F. G is a whole step above F. If I start on a sharp note, I'm going to land on a sharp note if I go up by a whole step. So if I say C sharp and I go up a whole step, I'm going to go... I'm not going to go like that, excuse me. If I'm starting on C sharp, I'm going to go up from C sharp to D, and then D to D sharp, 2 jumps. I'm on C sharp, D, D sharp. You see? So if I'm on a note with a sharp and I go a whole step, I'm going to end up on another note with a sharp. And we need to be able to do this too. We need to be able to do this. And I'll probably double back and do drills for this before I move on. Because the next logical, after we have all of the notes and we know how to do move by half steps, which you need to be able to do first, and then you know how to do move by whole steps, then we can move on to the scale, to the major scale. Okay? I'm just giving you all of the music theory that I know that becomes practical for being able to use for an instrument in time. In the way that's in my head. This is what allows me to write music. This is what allows me to write my own chord progression and then improvise over them. This is what has allowed me to make. I've made and recorded and produced, I don't know, probably 30, 40 songs for myself, and not only for myself. This is what allows me to play music over whatever I hear. I could just jump into any band. You know, that's what I call the at least one rule. At least one time this thing got a full. I hit no bump or nothing. It's crazy, but it is what it is. It has to obey the rule. It's like a law of the universe. If I'm driving and recording, my phone got a full at least one time. But anyway, yeah, oh, I totally forgot what I was saying. Anyway, we'll build the skills. We'll be able to play along to anything eventually. At least to understand how that process is done. And so I'm just trying to pass my knowledge along. I hope you're blessed by it. And continue to follow. Don't lose patience with yourself. Be confident that if you just keep showing up, it will come together for you. And I believe that. I believe that for you. And I'm confident that I could get you there if you don't quit on yourself. Forget me. If you don't quit on yourself. I'm doing this to help you out. To help you to have what I have. Because it is a tremendous blessing in my life to understand these things and be able to apply them. Forget like just, look man, I don't care about really theory, about understanding things that are like, you know, on paper. I've never been into that too much. But to be able to take something and do something with it, that right there, that matters. And that's where I'm taking everything. So join me on the journey, and it will be a blessing if you can if I can download or upload, whatever it is, if I can transfer this knowledge to you, and you can implement it in the way that I am able to do now. All right, so anyway, that's gonna be it for this one. You can jump up by whole steps, we'll jump down by whole step. I'm not gonna do it right now, but we'll do it in the future. All right, and I'll see you later. Peace.